Everybody, to the most must-see show on YouTube that all 5 people can't wait for on a daily basis. Welcome to Can We Make Impact Wrestling the best promotion in Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. I am your host, the Mayor, Jason Smith, and welcome as we continue to roll on, marching towards November of 2020. In this episode today, we will be talking about Final Resolution 2009 as we continue to chronicle the history of Impact pay-per-views. Also, we will be Impact TV, just 5 days away. When the calendar rolls over to November, it'll be time to negotiate TV again. Wow, it's already that time. We had just negotiated a new contract with Pop TV. I'm going to try to jump on a bigger network somewheres. Hopefully we can finally catch on somewhere. I don't know if we'll be able to pull that off, but we'll give it a shot as we approach week 1 of November 2020. Most of our pay-per-view is pretty well set. The TV championship is good to go. The Phoenix versus TJP. We have Kairi Sane and Asuka Kana going one-on-one for the women's title. Rich Swann versus Jay White for our X Division Championship. The Young Bucks will take on the Shield for the tag team titles, Jon Moxley and Seth Rollins. And Marty Scurll will face Drew Galloway for the world title. The only undecided matchup we have now is Bray Wyatt and the Impact Grand Champion. He needs an opponent. The last match that we set up didn't quite go as well as we had hoped. That match, of course, Adam Page versus Bray Wyatt. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that and try and find a new contender for Bray Wyatt. I haven't updated the roster or the win-loss records yet. I've been kind of slacking. I had a little bit of homework last night. Started my master's program in my first class. I had a little bit of homework to do, so I wanted to make sure that I got that taken care of. No time for slacking now. I got 18 months to go before I finish my master's program. I think it's closer to 16, but who's counting? I am. That's who. I am scheduled to graduate in April of 2021. So, good stuff. All right, so as I mentioned, we're talking Final Resolution 2009. The first match on the card was a somewhat of a rematch from Turning Point. The TNA World Tag Team titles, the British Invasion, Magnus and Doug Williams taking on the Motor City Machine Guns in Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. The British Invasion would continue to hold on to those titles. And a pretty good match to kick off the pay-per-view. The Machine Guns, by the way, were on the poster for this pay-per-view. Next up was the TNA Women's Knockouts Championship. For some reason, these matchups didn't go very long in this stretch of women's championship wrestling. Okay, then. Tara defeated ODB to win the TNA Women's Knockouts Championship. Next up was the Feast or Fired match, one of my favorite matches that TNA does. They kind of take the Money in the Bank match that WWE does, and they put a little bit of a spin on it. So, basically how it works is you got a bunch of guys in the ring. There are 4 briefcases above 4 posts, and you basically pull one down, and that's your briefcase. So there is a championship opportunity for the tag team titles, the X Division title, and the World Heavyweight title, and one is pink slip. You're getting fired. So, in this match, you had Cody Deaner, Consequences Creed, Kevin Nash, James Storm, Jay Lethal, Rob Terry, Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe, Sheikh Abdul Bashir, and World Elite, which was made up of Eric Young, Kiyoshi, and Homicide. very quick match for what it is. It took only 11 minutes, and every time I come down here, man, I start yawning. The World Tag Team title opportunity was captured by Kevin Nash. Rob Terry landed the X Division title. Samoa Joe would get the World Heavyweight Championship opportunity, and Sheikh Abdul Bashir would pick up the pink slip. Okay, so now let's get back in game here, and the networks, of course, are scheduling and accepting proposals, so we will look to try and expand our contract with TV networks. And we want to make sure we have coverage in the United States, because that's where we are at. We want to make sure that the minimum size for us will deal with a cult company. So that'll eliminate some of the options that we have. And Pop TV, where we're at now, is a medium risk level and a medium size, so we want to stay with that, and we want to make sure that the minimum size is just above minimum. So these are the networks that we qualify to be on. Obviously, we're not going to land USA because they handle pretty much all of WWE. TNT is the same way. We could go to the CW, we could go to TBS, Sci-Fi, Spike, MTV2, MTV, HBO, and ESPN. So let's start with Spike, because that gives us an opportunity to be in the US and Canada. And we'll see if they're interested in doing a new show with us. And then also, we will reach out to Pop TV and try and extend Impact Wrestling. And I think with this one, I think we're going to try to get away from being exclusive with this particular deal. Because right now we are exclusive to Impact Wrestling. So the goal would be at this point to renegotiate that contract, possibly get on Spike TV with a new show. If that comes to fruition, then we'll keep everything the same. It'll just have a new title on Spike TV, and we'll just kind of forget about Pop TV and move on. But we'll see how things go. We're just going to hedge our bets with the Pop TV extension request, because we don't want to run into a situation where we ran into last time around, where we kind of ignored Pop TV, tried to land a bigger deal, and at the end of the day, we just didn't have time to negotiate with Pop TV. So we were off TV for a good run there. Taking a look at our numbers, too, we had really hoped we were going to be profitable in October. We were not, sadly. Our payroll went up a pretty good amount, about $300,000 from where we were, which meant that we were going to be in a little bit of trouble money-wise. We also bought out some people, but we kept our costs down. We eliminated some of our developmental costs and pared those back a little bit. We had a little bit more of an expenditure in show costs. Our miscellaneous costs were down, though, so that's good. And we saw an increase in sponsorship dollars. We saw an increase in ticket sale dollars, an increase in miscellaneous dollars, and an increase in pay-per-view revenue. Still not to that February 2020 number where we had $500,000 in pay-per-view revenue, but we did have a record ticket sales number this time around, and of course we got a good little chunk of change from our TV revenue. So we'll be continuing to keep an eye on that, and we'll move forward here and talk about the next match on the card at Final Resolution 09. It was an 8-man tag team elimination match. So basically a Survivor Series style match. On one side, you had Jesse Neal, Team 3D, and Rhino. Jesse Neal making his TNA pay-per-view debut. He was part of a tag team with Shannon Moore known as Inc. Get it? Both because they're super tattooed and ink. Get it? Ha ha ha. Anyway. So, Team 3D, Rhino, and the guy who's definitely not Shannon Moore, Jesse Neal, going up against D'Angelo Dinero Hernandez, Matt Morgan, and Suicide. Dinero's team would get the W in that one. Let's see what we got happening. Yeah. Not much. Okay. Next match on the card, a last man standing match between Bobby Lashley, Scotty Steiner. Very quick match for a last man standing match. And Bobby Lashley would pick up the W in that one. Next up was a Foley's Funhouse Rules match, so a hardcore match. Tag team match. On the one side, you had Dr. Stevie and Raven. On the other, Abyss and Mick Foley, who just finished a feud and now decided to team up. And they would pick up the win over Stevie Richards and Raven. Alright, so our contract with SaskTel, the Canadian pay-per-view, that only airs in the prairies, is set to expire. We are on Shaw Direct in Canada, including the prairies, so there's no real point to picking this up. So we'll go ahead and let it expire, unless we can get maybe a little bit more revenue out of them. We'll see. If not, we'll just walk away. Okay, next up was probably the match of the night. A 3 Degrees of Pain match between Desmond Wolfe, a.k.a. Nigel McGuinness, and Kurt Angle. This is basically, like a submission-style match, if you will. I believe there was some... It's been a minute since I've watched this one, but Kurt Angle would beat Desmond Wolfe 2-1 in the 3 Degrees of Pain match, and this is something... I never understood when they do these types of matches where they book them out like this, where you have, we're going to do, the first match is going to be a regular match, and the second match is going to be a cage match, and then if there's a need for a third match, it's going to be this kind of match. There's going to be a third match. Don't say if. Just tell everybody what's going to happen, because we all know very, very rarely, I think I've only seen like a 2 out of 3 falls match, or a 3 Degrees of Pain match, or, any of those kind of matches. I think only one time I've ever seen it go 2-0, and the other person gets shut out. So, either way, Kurt Angle picked up the win in that one, and would move on. And there's my yawning again. Terrible. Should be fired. Ricky Mandel, whoever the hell that is on a paper appearance deal with NXT. Eric Rowan. Interesting. Wonder how much he's going to cost. $8,300 for 3 years. He's 38 years old. I'm going to pass on him, I think. I hate to, because I love Rowan. He's great. But I think we're going to pass. Okay. Next up, last but not least, the main event of the evening. Another fantastic match. 21 minutes for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles, taking on Christopher Daniels in this one. And in this match, AJ would beat Christopher Daniels to retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this match, Final Resolution 2009, was the 6th Final Resolution pay-per-view, but also would mark the last time Impact Wrestling would use a 6-sided ring until 2011, when it made its return at Destination X. So we're getting ready to head into 2010 in our chronicling of the pay-per-view. This would be the first pay-per-view featuring Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff. You would start to see the slowly transitioning to the blue stylized TNA featuring ring ropes and aprons and things like that. It would also be the TNA debut of Sean Morley, Brian Kendrick, and Six Pac and Mr. Anderson. So, yeah. But we'll talk about that more tomorrow because I have a lot to say about Kenny Anderson. So stay tuned for that. All right, we've got decisions awaiting our response. AEW looking to make an extension with Sonny Kiss. Sonata wins the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship. Bobby Lashley looks like he's going to stay in WWE. It's a good place for him. Negotiations for an extension with Pop. Hey, there we go. Cool. All right, so we've got our extension with Pop TV. Hopefully that doesn't have any impact on our negotiations that we have going on with Spike to have a new TV show. And we'll see what happens if we were to cancel this contract. I don't want to do it until we have that other show locked in place. So, all right, so Impact TV tonight with the re-up on Pop TV. Very excited about talking about Genesis 2010. You would also see the pay-per-view debut of Ric Flair. So a lot of money being pumped into Impact in 2010, and a lot of big names that makes you wonder, when you read down these cards, how in the hell TNA failed. Very interesting. Indeed. Alright, so we are out in the West, and I don't think that's going to work for us. So we're going to go Al McGuire Center. No, we're not. Nutter Center. Wherever the hell that is. I live in the Great Lakes region. No idea who, what, or where the Nutter Center is. So we're going to find that out. It's in Dayton, Ohio. That's why. Wright State University. That's why I've never heard of it. Live in Michigan. We don't go to Ohio unless we have to. Unless we're passing through it to go to a real state. I kid, by the way. It's a joke. Don't get offended. Alright. Let's start booking this bad boy up. So we still need an opponent for Bray Wyatt, and we still have the rest of the card to fill out as well. So Bray Wyatt, come on down. Let's see here. Adam Cole doesn't have an opponent yet, so we'll try that out. See how well this works for us. Bray Wyatt, Adam Cole. Baby. You have to say it like that or it doesn't count. Adam Cole, baby, will haunt you in your sleep if you don't say it like that. All right, so let's see what else we got going on here, because we've got a few spaces to fill. So Paige needs an opponent. Cody needs somebody to run with. As do Eddie Edwards, Sami Callihan. So let's start with Hangman Page and Jon Moxley. See what those two can do together. Let's play around with some of our tag teams that are available as well. We'll run Death from Above. Can't run the Lucha Bros because Phoenix has a singles match. Let's run Death from Above against the New Day. Baby. There we go. Alright. Now we've got They Can't Go, They Can Go, They Can Go. Violent Conduct can go. Future Wolves, Violent Conduct. Well, let's put the Wolves... No, let's put Violent Conduct against the Future. Back that train up a little bit. Alright, and then we've got, what do we got? Cody. I think I'm going to have him go with Darby Allin. Because why not? Alright. Drew Galloway's got something going on. So Eddie needs something to do. Eddie Edwards and Kenny Omega. Why not? Let's do it. Okay, now let's clear out some of my main event guys here. 2, 4, 6. Alright. Got 6 guys left. Let's do a 3-on-3 tag match. So, on one side, we will do Phoenix, Rich Swann, and Marty Scurll. On the other side, we'll do Jay White, Drew Galloway, and since TJP is tied up, we'll do Seth Rollins. Alright, open, decisive finish, and let's work the crowd. There we go. Let's do that. Alright, 15 minutes left. all of our main event players are booked. Beautiful. Let's try Davey versus Pac. And that should give us a pretty good show. If I do say so myself, and I usually do. Alright, there we go. I'm going to dial that one back a little bit. Alright, so let's kick it. 90 minutes. Here we go. Cody and Darby Allin. Not good. Darby doesn't have the stamina to go 8 minutes. That's going to be a problem because those are our minimum matches. Which means Darby Allin might get fired after just one match. Oops. That might have been a bad hire on our part. Eddie Edwards and Kenny Omega looked pretty good. Davey Richards and Pac was okay. Violent Conduct versus The Future was pretty good, so we'll go ahead and book that one. Then we've got Adam Page and Mox. Great chemistry. Perfect. You can do some things with a match like that. Death from Above and The New Day gave us a B. A B out of Bray Wyatt and Adam Cole. That's a winner for that title. Grand Championship. Bray Wyatt, Adam Cole. Baby. And our 6-man tag match turned out pretty good as guys who can wrestle really well took on guys with super long hair and sometimes a beard. And it got us a B. B rating overall. After a kind of a shaky start with the Cody Darby Allin match. Increased our popularity in 11 regions. So we'll check our ratings and we'll check out where we stand with popularity and probably fire Darby Allin. It's a shame because he can't go 8 minutes and I need him to go 8 minutes. I want to thank everybody who tunes into the show as well. Make sure you like and subscribe. As always, Sue Young has left the company. No hard feelings there. Hope she does well. Really good show in front of 9,900 people. Sean Spears to Evolve. Mr. Azerbaijan off to Shikara. Still a cult rating. And still hanging on there. Sue Young has left. Adam Page needs time off. He always does. 3.98 on Pop. Way up from it. We almost hit a 4 on Pop TV. I didn't think that was possible. I thought we had peaked on Impact or on Pop TV, but there may be some room yet. So pretty good show overall. Very happy with how that turned out. As I said, tomorrow's episode, I'll get the ratings updated. We'll get the win-loss records updated. We're starting to see our November pay-per-view card come together, and we will be talking TNA Genesis 2010. My name is the Mayor, Jason Smith. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Be excellent to each other.